Hey guys, I'm back with another market update part 2, so let's get started. So 151 PCTPs are still going pretty crazy. People are actually paying this higher price of $660. I mentioned yesterday how the price had gone from 500 to like 670, I think it was yesterday. Right now they are about pretty much the same price yesterday, 665, like 50 cents more. And yeah, people are paying it, and the prices are actually looking um, actually better. I feel like I noticed a lot of people are starting to normalize their prices. But I do see like it does have potential to just rise like pretty quickly. 690. 690 seems to be the next target price points. And I also looked at eBay and I was like, yeah, I do see more people listing their PCTPs more expensive now. Like just the listing, like I see 600, even 900 over here, 550. Like 550 is kind of lowest I kind of see. A lot of people are playing for 600 now. So eBay has shifted. At least the listings go. Yeah, it's really hard to find anything less than 550 right now on eBay. I think they'll slowly start shifting over time in reaction to this. And not as many sales on eBay, but I'll give it some time. But there's like 560 actually selling over here. I don't know how much these sold because they're accepted a lot offer, so they probably got some sort of discount. But 550 here, 550 here. So I think there's some amount of people buying the cheap ETBs, and I'm just not seeing that many listed anymore. So you're not gonna have a choice of how much you get for after this. All right, let's move on to Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals is down here. So actually, it's up here. Destined Rivals. Oh my god, I have so many tabs open. Okay, so Destined Rivals. The price went down for the booster boxes. Not too surprising. It went down another $3 though, so it's a more significant drop than before. It dropped like about like less than $2 yesterday, but then it dropped today. I'm gonna check how much gaming company has because that's part of the reason of the price drops. Gaming company still has 57 left, so they're starting to slowly run out. But yeah, it is harder for the price to rise when there's just a seller putting so many boxes at like a lower price. It forces people to sell less than that. Like it's like out of a lot of these sellers are they have the star, like they're bigger sellers, so it's selling for the cheapest price out of these sellers. But all these are kind of like competing with each other. Like there's no difference between these prices, and there's 1 cent difference between these two and these two. And yeah, demand is kind of so at 50. So 50 is a little higher than some other days, but still the price keeps dropping. Not too surprising. It was priced just a little too high at the moment. It could do what Journey Together is doing right now. Journey Together is recovering. Because booster boxes do have a limited supply. Like you get it all at once, and then the booster boxes don't really increase until later. Like the supply, you don't really get much supply until it reprints. So that might happen for Destined Rivals eventually, but right now it's kind of similar to happening in Journey Together a little bit. Like we are seeing price drops, probably see a little more price drops. ETBs are dropping to 30 demand, which is a little lower than normal. PCTPs demand recover a little bit to 7. Some days it's like 3. Before it was like 10 to 13, so 7's still a little low. These things are they're actually dropping. They were really flat, and you just see a very minimal drop right there. But the PC ETBs did go up like $2, and the ETBs did go up about $1.50. So ETBs did recover a little bit. Bundles are selling about 40, so that's nice for bundles. That's kind of normal. And then cases have kind of so demand, honestly. Only one case sold yesterday, one case did sell today. They're selling for about there are just a bunch of sellers selling for around $14.95, unfortunately. So that's a bunch of case supply. The difference between a case and a single booster box, though, there's still a good difference, though. It's right now it's like about roughly $4 or $5 difference. So it's much cheaper to get the cases, the booster boxes, and the cases now. So that's a pretty interesting phenomenon that the cases haven't fallen. Maybe the cases will fall. All right, and I'll move on to Black Bolt and White Flare. I'll just pause for about 15 seconds to just say, doing this giveaway, 2K appreciation giveaway. Here's a cute Eevee Cats. Nothing complicated. At 2K subs, I'll be gifting one random subscriber a 15-minute call. Honestly, I talk a lot, so it'll probably be more than 15 minutes, but I'm just trying to cover my stuff. But yeah, honestly, I talk so much, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes like 30 minutes or an hour. Um, just to give to you guys, not cards, but hopefully it's something for you guys. Black Bull White Flare. So I didn't put any. The prices didn't really change that much. Actually, did I close one of these? Oh, I know. But I am seeing just overall demand is starting to increase, and we are at um 30 minus 8, so it's like what, 22 days, roughly like just over 2 weeks before release day. And as expected, the ETBs kind of like they're not really increasing or whatever. But yeah, ETB demand suddenly went up for Black Bolt. Also 21. It kind of slowed down here where it was like selling 1 or 6 or whatever, and even 9 sold today. So a bunch of Black Bolt demand has appeared. Also in bundles. Not as much as these spikes, but 13 is still pretty good. The lows are usually like in the like less than 10. And even binders had 8 sold, so it's kind of matching the highs of the current month. And then White Flurry TB is also 25, so quite a few White Flurry TB sold. Honestly, I think the picture helps so much. I don't know why they didn't have all the pictures on these other ones. And then bundles and binders are kind of so 7 is kind of like the midpoint. And for binders, 4 is pretty decent. That's kind of the normal midpoint, or slightly higher than the average. Okay, so next let's go Paldean Fates. So Paldean Fates over here. Did that wrong. Should have been in this row. Alright, so the main price difference is that the ETBs went down about $5. So the demand for ETBs is kind of dropping in general. You just see it was kind of increasing to like 2, 3, 5, and now it's down to 1. This is slightly cheaper than the other ones, but I like the name Lugular. But then you are hovering around 183 over here, and you go to 190 over here. But yeah, ETBs demand is slowing down, at least for today. Same with PCTP. Only 1 sold. It's kind of more normal for PCTP. And I'm eyeing like 255 or something, but yeah, honestly, there's not really a huge price ladder for these. The main thing that I'm looking at is like booster bundles, so they remain the same price. Demand is kind of alright at 12. And just keep eyeing the $70 mark because there are a bunch of these, like $70 over here. I guess that this WD card shop, they've been putting a bunch of supply for things. I think that they have a bunch of 151 bundles. They're pricing slightly below normal market price too. This is your opportunity to get cheaper Paldean bundles at 69 compared to 70 over there, and there's a couple at 68. And I guess that there's a cheaper one over here for picture listings, but you have to order at least 5. And someone bought it. Someone ordered one. They only ordered 1. I wonder how. I guess it's gonna be canceled or something. And then packs. When I'm saying packs, just they don't really sell. So it's kind of really weird for packs. These haven't been selling, and then this one over here it was added. Otherwise, all the prices are hovering around $12.25. So I just left the price at $12.25. Honestly, packs haven't been super exciting to look at, but the pack price is pretty high, which is pretty good. Because at that pack price, bundles are still cheaper. But people probably value bundles a lot more than loose packs for Paldean Fates. Crown Zenith, I'm finally seeing some more pack demand from Crown Zenith, so that helped flush out some of the cheaper supply at $11. So for Crown Zenith packs, actually a lot of packs are bought in general for these other specialty sets. So Crown Zenith 72, 151, 118, and Prismatic at 112. So Prismatic has been really cheap lately, around $10, so that makes sense. But for 151, I feel like it's more just like 151 has more momentum that's going up versus Prismatic. Keeps kind of dropping in a sense. It could be recovered, but like 151 has a clear, more like it's a much safer investment than Prismatic, and people love 151. But yeah, Crown Zenith packs, they're still around around $11. So now there are these 4 sellers selling for $11, and this is about, let's see, that's 74 plus 12 is like 86. So less than 100 packs at $11, and then we get to 11.25. It's actually, there's only 2 packs, and we jump to 11.40. So watch out for that. Seeing Sky still has pretty slow demand, and it's kind of stuck at this 170 price. Jam Sneakers keeps and Berkshire Hathaway. Well, Jam Sneakers keeps listing them at 170, so they just, I don't know how many they have, but they keep listing a lot. at this price, and then 170, like, so it can't jump to like 173 or 175. ETBs had more demand at 5 yesterday, but I think possibly they were cheaper. I see a bunch of 172, so maybe someone listed a bunch of cheap ones yesterday. I'm not really sure with the shipping and everything. It could have had good shipping. I don't really know, but there is a cheaper one over here. This is at like 177. Then it goes back to 180. So there's one cheaper one available. And then bundle demand suddenly slowed down. Like for the rest of the month, there's only been one other day where there's been 2 days of bundle demand. So maybe they'll finally slow down. That's why I kept saying. If you listen to the bundle parts when I talk about Crown Zenith, I say some bundle demand is always good because price is pretty high, and if there's no demand like that, then you'll see like just we don't really care about bundles or too overpriced because you don't really get anything except for the cards, except for the packs. There's no promos or anything. They are one of the most expensive bundles, and we compare it to like should I get Crown Zenith bundles or 151 bundles or Paldean Fates bundles? It becomes a little bit like I don't know. Maybe I should get like 150. Like 151 bundles are still a decent deal, versus Crown Zenith bundles are still like you can still get like Sea and Sky for a good amount less. I guess that's, or at least loose packs for a good amount less. There is a price discrepancy there. Okay. So for 151, yeah, because for 151 for here, so bundles have increased. I think this part isn't bundles have increased, but you do see like there are 1250 a pack. Versus like you buy Blooming Borders, it's like 250 difference. Compared to I don't know. Compared to Crown Zenith over here, I guess it's like compared to loose packs, you could get like a $3 like 350 difference, and over here this is like a 250 difference. So compared to Sea and Sky, it's kind of the same price differential. 1250 versus like it's about 250 difference. Yeah. All right, I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm just gonna go 151. I think it made sense in my brain. So bundles are same shop. WD Card Shop has a bunch of bundles for sale. That's kind of putting a price ceiling. Otherwise, I would expect bundles to kind of go up, but they're kind of just sticking to 75 at this rate. Theoretically, they should all get sold out and eventually rise above 75, but usually it doesn't quite work like that. Usually, like it takes a little bit of time for stuff to get bought up, and bundles are only selling about like 20 to 30 a day anyway. I had some notes on 151. So yeah, pack demand increase I mentioned before, and I still see some packs around 1050. So this is 1044. On the next page over here, this is about 1050 as well. So that's a good amount of packs because this is already about 70 something packs. And it jumps to 1060. So 151 packs are still cheap, a lot because Blooming Wars is still pretty cheap. So it's not that surprising. UPCs are getting, there's some cheaper ones available. They're heading toward about like 395 to 397. And I see this is 390, 393, 395. And this is 396. So just some cheap UPCs available as demand kind of slows down to about one per day in the last couple of days. PCTPs I already talked about. I expect price shifts and stuff on eBay over time. ETPs demand has been kind of decent, selling like 2 to 3 a day. The price still is kind of stable around like 250. It'll go to like it'll go between like 247 and 255 usually. Posters are stronger. They're at 34. They go 35. So actually, it's at 35. A lot of them are hovering around 34. So actually, it might be a little weaker in that sense. A lot of people might be trying to offload 34. Yeah, it'd be good to see them rise back up. They were at like 40 at some points. Binders, I'm seeing that there's another Minty Fresh Cards put up a bunch of cheap binders. I didn't know they put up 9, but yeah, a bunch of cheap binders have been added. So the binder collection is going down in value. So 110, like first Sparkbird cards added a bunch, and yeah, I said that they added way too many because it didn't incentivize people. Ever since Sparkbird card added their listing, this is what happens. Like this is why you have to like put your listings appropriately. Don't put like 20. They put 20. They got a little too greedy. Even if you have 20, just list like 5 or 10. Because bundles don't sell that often. And then now since you've put the market price so much lower for so long, now these other sellers are appearing. And now a bigger seller has also appeared, like selling 9 or a big seller, and that now it's at 110. So binders were originally they were at like 120, 130 ish or 125 or one for a while, and now they're down to 110 pretty stably. The percentage for this is kind of iffy though, so maybe people won't buy it. Boiling Waters, 14 were sold. That's pretty decent. And I'm finally starting to see the prices head toward 120 again, so that's good. Officially, Boiling Waters went up, another to about 250, and yeah. When we get back to 120, it's good. Like we've definitely had a drop for quite a bit, and I'm just waiting because these are really good pickups. They're not going to be there forever, and then 151 is probably going to take off a little bit. It really feels like a Sea and Sky situation, to be honest. And then Prismatic, the Super Premium Collection. I think there's some cheap ones available. So there's this one at like 186, and then goes to 190. 190 is also a little cheap for Super Premium Collections. Demand is kind of alright, 16. So, but yeah, they always hover between like 190 and 200 more or less. So yeah, you can get a cheap one for about $11 less than before. ETB demand is rising a little bit compared to the last couple of days. So it's now in like the 30s to 35s. Before it was like in the 25s. And the prices do look a little better. Like I did say, it probably stabilized between like 100 and 110, and that's kind of where we keep going. Like I see 110 at the bottom here. Maybe we'll reach it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it just keeps going up and down. Bundle demand is doing really good. Bundles stayed about the same at about 68, but you just see like a ton of bundles being bought. Like I see days of hundreds of like 100 bundles bought, 110 were bought yesterday. So people are really buying up these bundles, and like $69 is right here. There's not a lot left at 68, so maybe we'll see a price rise. But prismatic packs are so cheap, unfortunately, that it really hurts the bundle price long term. But yeah, bundles have the additional thing of they're not just packs; they are good long term investments. People do like to open them a lot in general. PCTBs, they went back down like about $40 or $20. PCTBs, yeah, down $20. They went down from 272 to 215, then to 240, then now it's back to 221. It's mostly just a cheap one over here, and it goes to 237, which is about the same as yesterday. But yeah, it seems like it's gonna stabilize around 240 at the moment. There was an insane demand. So there's 6 and then 5 bought, which is kind of comparable some other days. So yeah, like this, it's not as big of a drop as last time. Last time was like close to $100, but it's still good amount of drop. Prismatic packs, I mentioned that 112 were bought, so a good amount of them were bots. But yeah, there's just so many cheap prismatic packs. So many people trying to sell for just under like $10. This is like 120 packs already. This is another 14. So just so many cheap prismatic packs available, unfortunately. Prismatic surprise boxes demand is going up a little bit, so it's going 26. It's been the 20s the last couple of days. These things always just are 50 to 55. Binders, I think there's still this cheap one, or did it disappear? The cheap one might have disappeared. So, the binders dropped from like 65. Now they're 59. So they were kind of like going up, and the market there's now a bunch of them below like 65 now. So I don't know. Is it the normal market price, or is it like really cheap? I don't really know at this point, but it is cheaper than like 65 by a good amount. You do save. Like it was like a $10 drop yesterday, and now it went back up $3. Pouches are still doing terrible. They're selling 5, but like this whole page has like $50 listings, and there's a good amount of them. Like this Cold Full Heroes has 36. So these prismatic patches are just doing really, really bad. It really helps the prismatic market to get cheap packs, so it really helps collectors. And then Tin Display sold one yesterday, 230. They don't sell much, but they're just really stable at the moment. Like really selling very. Like they didn't really drop very much from their low of like 200 or 210. So they're at 228. The price per pack is still amazing at about 14 over here compared to everything else. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks guys, bye.